Bitcoin history is repeating yet again, because just exactly like the previous breakout attempts, Bitcoin is doing something very similar, and while this is happening, we are seeing that the accumulated debt by the US government is going parabolic, and all in all, while this is happening, we are seeing more and more money being printed on the imminent short term. We're starting to see the Bitcoin dominance drop very rapidly. Ethereum is starting to be pushing up again, and I'm already in about 700,000 US dollars in profit at this moment of time. And of course, on today's update video, I will give a big update about what I think, of course, on Ethereum. Because yes, I am seeing some very important things right now here. But more importantly, I want to be talking about this exact breakout attempt we're currently seeing. The big squeeze on the Bollinger Bands right now. Not only on Bitcoin, but on the entire crypto market. So a lot to discuss on today's update video. So don't forget to once again snap that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So the consolidation phase I discussed a couple days ago here is still exactly in play here. We're seeing higher lows getting created, lower highs from the top side, and basically the Bitcoin price action is getting squeezed up here on the 4-hourly time frame. And at a certain point, we are obviously going to be seeing a big breakout outside of this range here. And whenever we are going to be seeing that breakout, yeah, that is when the next major move is likely to be expected, right? So yesterday, also on the spot Bitcoin ETF, we saw some slight inflows, about 75 million US dollars, which is of course quite nice to be seeing. But also yesterday, we saw over 350 billion US dollars getting added towards the government debt. This came after the debt ceiling was raised again here. And yeah, the consensus is that more and more debt is going to get created in the coming period ahead of ourselves right now here. So a massive increasement in debt here. And of course, like we know, the debt spiral is already out of control here. And eventually, the more debt the US government is going to create, the more money will be printed. The more money that will be printed, the less valuable the dollar will be. And of course, assets valued against the dollar will rise in value like Bitcoin. So that is, of course, something very important and very crucial to be understanding. So that is one of the reasons why I am a long-term investor in Bitcoin. And if I'm talking about the imminent short term, I am right now seeing a big pile of liquidity being built up above us, around at 110 towards about 111,000 US dollar level. There's a major amount of liquidity being built up over there, and likely right now, since there's not a lot of liquidity laying below us, Bitcoin is going to be moving up towards that level to squeeze out that liquidity. So for me, it is going to be very likely that Bitcoin is most likely going to be creating a slight little move towards the upside before it ultimately is going to be coming down from here on. So Bitcoin is still trading in a big bull flag pattern. And yes, like I said in the intro of the video, we are seeing literally history repeat again here. Because just like all the previous breakouts, we saw multiple attempts here before really breaking above this critical level, right? We tried to be breaking above the critical level of resistance multiple times here. Here also major rejections. And of course, eventually, whenever we broke above the critical level of resistance, we shot up towards the upside. And it was also over here the case. And once again, if I'm zooming in right now for Bitcoin, this is once again exactly the case for Bitcoin. Again here, we are seeing multiple attempts for breakouts. And you can see here we got attempt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, eventually, this level of resistance is going to get cleared. You can see also the price. You can also clearly see the price action on Bitcoin is squeezing towards the upside. So it seems to be there is enough buy pressure, but the sell pressure is running out here. And whenever enough sell pressure is run out, we are going to be seeing a big squeeze above this level. And that is, of course, the moment where Bitcoin is going to be creating a big move towards the upside. And of course, if you've been watching the videos, my targets for Bitcoin along the way up here are 130 to about 140,000 US dollars. And I don't think Bitcoin is going to go much higher for this cycle now here. So those are my targets. Also, of course, we do know extended the deadline for, of course, the tariffs. Last time he did so, Bitcoin went up about 40% here. So yeah, let's see how it's going to be playing out this time around here, because so far we don't know exactly how this is going to be playing out here. But once again, we're expecting something similar is going to be happening for Bitcoin, of course, right? So we're still in this consolidation phase, and just like I said about this yellow line here, we're squeezing up. It's likely to be moving towards the upside. The liquidity is also being built up above us. So I'm very convinced we're going to be actually moving towards the upside. But the question is, when is it going to be stopping, right? So that is, of course, a very difficult question to answer. But of course, whenever the breakout is going to be happening, I will be monitoring the charts and I will let you know here. But the breakout for sure is very close and has been never closer than right now here, because also on the Bollinger Bands, we're so tight on the Bollinger Bands that is indicating a major squeeze is about to be happening. And the last times we were so squeezed up on the Bollinger Bands, we've always seen a squeeze for the price action to go higher. So very interesting stat also once again to know here. And to just give you a big overview, it's not only Bitcoin that is getting squeezed up here, but it's also the total cryptocurrency market cap excluding the top 10 here. So altcoins, they are also at one of its tightest levels not seen since, October 2024 or February or November 2023. Those levels were also very boring for altcoins, but of course always after that, after we got squeezed up so heavily, after the volatility was so low, we saw some very explosive price action. So once again, this is expected for altcoins as well right now here. And of course, like I said in the beginning of the video, the M2 money supply is rapidly increasing, and this is something Bitcoin eventually will be catching up to here. And of course, I am putting my money where my mouth is, like you can see with my trade. I'm in about $700,000 in profit right now on my Ethereum trade, because my first take profit target is 2,660. Like you can see over here, I have a partial take profit on 2,660. I will be closing approximately $1.1 million of quantity of my trade, and my trade is worth about 4.5 million US dollars. So whenever we're going to be hitting that level, I will be taking 25% out of my trade, and then I will be locking in about like 200k in profit, right? Because at a certain point, the risk is becoming bigger and bigger, because Ethereum will be hitting the top side of the region. I don't think we're necessarily going to be topping out, but I at least want to be taking some profits off the table, especially if you're in a profit of about $800,000, right? So that is exactly my strategy right now. And after that, I will be going fully out of my position whenever Ethereum hits 3,000 US dollars, which I think is a very reasonable target to be hitting. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be selling off my Ethereum whenever we hit 3K here. No, what I will be doing is hold my Ethereum all the way up to $4,000, but in spot, not in my leverage trade here, just to have some more certainty on my trade here on Ethereum. And yes, that is my exact trading strategy right now here. I mean, Ethereum is looking very good here. And guys, if you want to be trading yourself here, there are many great opportunities to be trading. If you're living in Europe, you can sign up to Bybit Europe. It's completely regulated. You can trade there on spot. Very great platform, of course. I'm using it myself as well. And of course, if you're living outside of Europe, you can sign up to any of these other exchanges. I have left a link towards in the description of today's video. Of course, these exchanges are all very great here. They've got very nice deposit bonuses as well here, so make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, the Ethereum spot ETF here has seen right now 8 weeks of inflow. This is literally something that has not happened before yet here. So Ethereum flows are very strong right now here. And also we're seeing that mega whale positions on Ethereum are rapidly increasing here. So there are more and more whales investing in towards Ethereum. And I don't know if you guys know Tom Lee here, but Tom Lee is basically the Michael Saylor of Ethereum. And yeah, he is planning to make a strategic Ethereum reserve soon. Of course, if that is going to be happening, it's going to be doing something tremendous for the price of Ethereum. But he's also stated that stablecoins are the ChatGPT moment for Ethereum. And if you don't understand what he means with that, whenever ChatGPT came out for NVIDIA, of course, a lot of demand was there for GPUs. And of course, that surged the price of NVIDIA to tremendous highs, of course, tremendous highs here. And now, of course, we're seeing more and more stablecoins being built up on Ethereum. And of course, stablecoins is the big innovation of crypto. And eventually, of course, more and more people are going to be using stablecoins. And where are they going to be using those stablecoins on? On Ethereum. And of course, if that's going to be happening, it's going to be surging the price of ETH absolutely to highs that are very unprecedented. So yeah, this is something I am betting on personally also very heavily, like you can see. I am putting my money where my freaking mouth is here. And of course, I've talked about this consolidation phase for many times before here. We are also starting to see that the Bitcoin dominance is starting to drop right now here. ETH compared to Bitcoin is also starting to coil up again here. Of course, we got first rejected by this high right here, but we're starting to be breaking back in towards the range here, because first we broke below this level right here. And you can see we broke below it. We got rejected multiple times here. Now we're flipping that level into support and bouncing back higher. So Ethereum is honestly looking quite good here and quite strong if you ask me here. But anyways, this was it for you today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from this video, slap on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.